What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 217. My name is Harrison, and I am joined by my brother this week. Nick, how you doing, buddy?
I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm good. Wellish rested.
Very nice. Well, how was your vacation?
Vacation was wonderful.
Anniversary trip.
Yeah, it's good. We didn't necessarily plan it for an anniversary trip. It just kind of happened to fall. But it was nice. Went down to Cancun for three full days. One of the days it was a full day excursion to Mayan ruins, and then it's called a cenote. It's just a kind of an underwater cave that you can swim in.
Yeah.
Or not underwater cave, a kind of a cave with water that you can swim in. But it was super cool.
Was it pretty clear water? And you could see.
Yeah, it was pretty blue. It was pretty clear.
Was it lighted, or it had natural light to come in there, or is it?
It had natural light. It had one or two natural openings up at the top.
Okay.
But it was really cool. They're
to swim in darkness or pretty dark waters.
Yeah, if it was dark, I don't know if I would have gone in, but
yeah,
it was really cool. There were birds and birds flying around within the cave,
cool.
and there were you could see bats sleeping upside down. So that was really awesome. And then the rest of the time, I mean, we stayed at an all-inclusive resort, so the rest of the time we just drank and ate food, sat by the pool. I got really sunburnt, got just a tinge of sun poisoning on the last day.
Gosh,
the problem was the last full day that we had, we weren't allowed to put up umbrellas until noon or 1 o'clock, and we were out there pretty early, so we were just getting beaten down by the sun,
just baking out there,
just baking. And I felt like I was put on sunscreen, with a pretty decent cadence. My wife would probably disagree, but
what can you do?
I got some bad sun. I got some bad sunburn, and then we ended up doing room service that night, which ended up being the best meal that we had there.
Really?
And
nice.
The food was good. The food that we had there was good, but the room service was just
I mean, there's nothing better than just laying in. Well, you probably weren't laying in bed, but getting room service and just chilling. You don't have to be all dressed up or nothing, or just lounge around, watch some TV or whatever. And
that last night we watched 2 terrorist White House movies. We watched White House Down and then Olympus Has Fallen. They just happened to be on
White House. What is it?
Olympus Has Fallen is with
that's with Gerard Butler and Morgan Freeman.
And then White House Down is with Jamie Foxx and Channing Tatum.
That's right. Okay.
Both of them were good. I enjoyed both of them. Olympus Has Fallen is a lot more gory.
Yeah.
Down. But I thought they were both good in their own right.
There's a sequel to that movie. It's Something Else Down, but I think it's
2 sequels.
Oh, there's 2? I didn't realize there was 2.
To the Fallen one, there's London Has Fallen, and then Angel has Fallen.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a whole trilogy, man.
Well, I mean that's I didn't realize. Well, I guess I think I've seen what's that Taken. I think there's 4
Taken,
maybe. Or maybe there's 3 with Liam Neeson, and then maybe there's another one that's not with him. I thought there was 4, but maybe it's only 3.
Yeah. So it was really good. The travel back kind of sucked. We were supposed to fly into Charlotte and then fly to Raleigh. There was some bad weather in Charlotte, so we got diverted to Atlanta. Had to sit there for 4 hours, and then finally flew back to Charlotte. And that was at 11 p.m. And then, of course, our flight to Raleigh got canceled. So we had to.
I will never understand flight patterns. Why on earth, if I'm, am I being if my destination is Charlotte or Raleigh or whatever? Why on earth am I traveling all the way down to Atlanta? I understand it's a hub, or whatever. They have more flights coming out of that, but it's it just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and I think the other problem is there were a lot of ending destinations on that flight aside from Raleigh. Some people luckily were actually going to Atlanta, so they essentially skipped a flight by just going straight there. So that was good for them.
I think it was one. I think we were going to Europe. I think didn't we fly from Charlotte to Was it Charlotte? Maybe it might have been Charlotte to Pennsylvania.
Either Pennsylvania or New York.
Yeah, maybe that. Or did we go to, or was it Atlanta? I don't think it was Atlanta. I think it was. I want to say it was like New York or something, somewhere up north. Yeah, yeah. That I hate connecting flights. Like I'd rather just.
There weren't really any straight flights to Cancun, which was weird because like it's a 3-hour flight.
Yeah,
it's not very far, but
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I also blame American Airlines. I think they are the worst airline possible. All of our problems have been with American. And I know it's like, oh, weather is bad, whatever, but I feel like they could have gone about it better. But needless to say, we ended up getting a car from Alicia's brother, and we drove back and ended up getting back to Raleigh at 5 a.m. So needless to say, Thursday morning we were pretty tired.
And then you had to work that day too.
I had to work that day.
Oof, hey, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
And it was like a late working day too. Since
we're when we go on our vacation next month to Florida, Dad was trying to figure out a flight, and I said, just get me whatever, like just a straight shot. Like I don't want to connect in Atlanta or have to fly from PTI to Charlotte, which is a ridiculous flight.
Yeah,
it's like a 30-minute flight. That's so dumb.
Like you barely get up to cruising altitude. It's like, all right, we're going back down.
We're going back down. But our flight is like 9:00 on Friday night, which is kind of sucks. But I mean,
get in at 10:30.
Yeah, get in at like 10:30, and then I think the drive's like an hour, maybe in something like that. 45 minutes, hour from the.
Yeah, I think it's like 45 minutes.
Yeah. So that sucks,
travel.
but then the flight on the way back is like at 6, so it's more reasonable.
Okay.
So
yeah, and the worst part was Alicia was supposed to take a flight Thursday morning to DC for the day, just for work.
Yeah.
And it was the flight was leaving at 7 a.m. And once we got to Charlotte and the flight was canceled, we were like, yeah, there's no shot you're gonna make this.
Just give me an invite to the Zoom call.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I mean, she goes down.
It was like a celebration for them. It was.
Oh, okay. So what?
Not mandatory. It wasn't mandatory, but she wanted to go.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but aside from that, really great trip.
Sweet.
Got some good sun, so that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. How's your week? I haven't listened to the Solo Dolo episode, but I saw you posted one.
Yeah, I just did like a quick 45-minute show, just talking about like the Square Enix stuff, the that whole thing, and of course, like somebody on YouTube was like calling me like a bias towards Xbox, and I was like, I don't know if you listened to it. I'm talking to this person, but I was like, how on earth? Like, I never said anything that I thought that Xbox like deserved Final Fantasy, but because he was making all the numbers, it never sells on Xbox, and I said, well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, if it sells, exactly, I was like, it's not really selling on PlayStation either, and I was like, if they sell 1 million copies on Xbox, yeah, maybe that's considerably lower than what PlayStation does, but hey, that's 1 million units. But my main argument was like the Switch 2. It's like, okay, once the Switch 2 comes out, like Square Enix is going to be very heavily invested in that because they want to bring, I mean, I don't know if they can bring Remake and Rebirth over, but like going forward, like their big AAA Final Fantasy games are absolutely going to be on the Switch 2.
I'm sure they're renegotiating that agreement. Like I'm sure they're like really disappointed with how this agreement has played out with this trilogy. Like they probably expected way more, like so much more sales than they got with Rebirth.
Yeah, and I think like Remake did really well for them.
Like 7 million.
Yeah,
plus.
like 7 million, which is really good. And I don't know what happened with Rebirth. I mean, it could sell over time, but
I think it's a better game.
Yeah, it's a much better game, but I mean, I think everybody that was super excited for Remake got it, and maybe I don't know, maybe people were turned off by the fact that it's cut up into 3 parts. I don't know, but yeah, Final Fantasy's been kind of interesting. Like it's definitely been on the decline Although I think 15 has sold like 10 million copies since like 2022. But it took a long time for that to kind of happen. It's more or less like kind of like an evergreen title for them, so they
I mean,
didn't see
since
those huge numbers. But it also it didn't launch on Xbox. It was like PlayStation exclusive for a while, and then it came to Game Pass. So like no wonder it didn't sell on Xbox. Like it was on Game Pass for quite a while. So everyone that played it on Game Pass,
I played it on Game
yeah,
Pass. That was great. Yeah, ever since 15, I think. Well, yeah, it's been confirmed that like all of the launch sales have been lower, like subsequently lower with each release, and of course Rebirth being the lowest. And especially when you look at Japan sales, it's like a shadow of what Final Fantasy 15 was.
I would be very curious. I wonder if it's like the change of like the turn-based combat. I wonder if that has hurt them in the long run.
I think in the long run it has. I mean, 15 was a first. Well, no.
I mean, because
When
15 was
when
like
did they change from turn-based to?
I think it was 15, wasn't it? Wasn't 15 like the first time it was kind of like the what is it, like action based?
Yeah, ATB, whatever.
ATB.
Active battle time. Yeah,
because that one was more like 15 was more like kind of like Xenoblade, right? That style of, and then 7 was kind of like that, but you had more control, and then 16 is like a straight up like action game.
Yeah, and then Rebirth is kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I definitely prefer, like, as Final Fantasy goes, I definitely prefer it as a turn-based game. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to. I mean, if you go back in time and them not do that, I wonder if the sales would be better. I don't know. Just give me a Final Fantasy X like proper remake. That'd be great. Just leave it turn-based.
Right. I hope they do that. But like when you think about like Dragon Quest 11, because that's Square Enix, right?
Yeah.
But that one had the option of doing
both
kind of a live. I mean, it wasn't like Final Fantasy level of live action combat, but like there was an option for both, and I think that was a good middle ground, and that game sold incredibly well. So I feel like they could do something along those lines with whatever the next Final Fantasy is, whenever that's out.
Yeah, it'll definitely. I don't think they'll ever do outside of Switch. I think they could still do like a Switch 2 exclusive game. But outside of Switch, I don't ever see them doing any sort of exclusive ever again.
Yeah, and like all those people trying to compare Nintendo's exclusives to PlayStation, like, oh, Octopath Traveler 1 was exclusive, Bravely Default was exclusive. It's like, yeah, but like those games still sold really well,
pretty well on Switch.
Like, and they were marketed well, lower budget overall. Like they were like AA titles.
Yeah, and then it eventually came out on everything. I mean,
Octopath Traveler came out on everything. I don't think Bravely Default did, but
I don't think it did either.
But
yeah, but those are like definitely like lower. I mean, they definitely don't cost as much as a Final Fantasy game does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. I mean, but you had the PlayStation people like losing their minds over, oh, we're losing our exclusive. It's like, well, y'all didn't buy the game. Like, we wouldn't have this conversation if y'all would just buy the game. I mean, if that's what your argument is, that's why you're losing, another exclusive or losing this exclusive. So
like at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter because whether or not it's an exclusive, they should play it, right? If they really like the franchise.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
yeah, it was just a quick little show. And then my week was pretty good. I had some work issues, but I mean, whatever. It's par for the course nowadays. Got through that, so that was fun. And then then obviously we had the little Putnam-Palooza on Saturday. That was fun. That was fun seeing everybody. And then I watched a. I'll talk about Solo Level here in a second, but I was gonna play some some more Stellar Blade and Animal Well yesterday, but I probably watched like 25 episodes of like Jujutsu Kaisen on Crunchyroll. It's like
Jesus, man.
It's like an anime. It's about curses instead of like demons and stuff. It's different style, but it's really cool. Really cool show. So I watched all of that and got completely caught up on that. But I was telling you about this on Saturday, but I started watching the show called Solo Leveling that came out this year. And this is like the most video game ass anime I've ever watched. I mean, it's the concept of, without like spoiling anything too much, is one day all around the world, these portals open up, and they call them dungeons, but like monsters started to pour out of them, anywhere between like spiders and snakes and like goblins and stuff. But at the same time, all of the not all of them, but a lot of humans had this, what they call a awakening, where they were, they essentially got like abilities. They have like a mage, you have like your tank, all of your typical, RPG kind of classes. But the interesting thing about it is they're ranked. So whenever you have your awakening, whatever your rank is what you are for life. So if you're like a rank E, you're a rank E forever. If you're a rank S, you're a rank S forever. And each dungeon has like its own like S rank, D rank, B rank, A rank.
Okay. I was gonna ask what it.
So yeah, and I think you have to have a party of like 8 in order to go into a dungeon. So yeah, if you're like a rank, if you're a rank E, you're probably gonna stick to the rank E dungeons, and you might have some various other party members and stuff like that. But it's a really cool show. The main character, obviously, something happens, and he gets reawakened, and all of a sudden he can physically level up. Like he gets grind. He gets like this little, like he can see it, but it's like this inventory menu that pops up, and like he has like his daily quests, whether it means like running 20 miles or doing like 100 push-ups or something like that. Really, it's a really cool show. I think it's like 12 episodes, but it's really cool.
And you've finished it?
I finished it. Yeah, I finished it. I think I finished it in like one day. Yeah, it was really. I mean, they're like 25-minute episodes, so that's not a lot. Short. Yeah, pretty short. But yeah, really cool. Very interesting. Like I haven't seen anything like that yet in my anime endeavors. But yeah, it's cool. I'd highly recommend it. It's definitely like very like chalice dungeony, or the dungeons from like Elden Ring when you go into those. Okay. But there's like in order to, I think some dungeons you can leave at any point, and some you have to kill like the main boss. And if you die in the dungeon, you're dead forever. Like if you
die in the game, you die in real life.
You die in the game, you die for real. Yeah. But you have you can have a mage with you, a healer that can like heal your wounds and like restore body parts and stuff like that if you lose them. But yeah, it's a cool show. Highly recommend it.
Cool.
And it's like the whole thing. I don't know if the whole thing, like both the dub and the sub came out at the same time. But when I watched it, they had all the dub on there, which is nice because like some animes, like I should say most animes, they usually have the sub come out first, and then the dub is sometimes months later. It just kind of depends on
way later sometimes.
Sometimes a lot later. Yeah. So yeah, that was very cool. But Nick, I talked very briefly about Animal Well last week. I think I'd only had maybe an hour into it, but I know you've rolled credits. I don't know if you've completely finished it, but tell me your experience with it, because you're a lot further in than I am.
Oh man, I freaking love this game. I'm like 18 hours in. I think I rolled credits around 5 or 6 hours.
Okay, so really short then.
It's a very short game. It's a very like simple goal of like getting the 4 flames, and each direction that you go in, you unlock a certain item that is useful throughout the entire map, right? So you like either get something like the yo-yo or the disc, which you can throw and then kind of jump on. You get the bubble wand, which blows bubbles, and you can jump off of the bubbles. You can do other stuff with it, and then like the slinky as well, which is also just a cool a cool item for various puzzles.
Yeah, the items in the game are really interesting. Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and there's no combat in the game. Like there are enemies that you have to avoid.
Yeah.
And there are, you know, quote unquote bosses that you have to face. But no, you know, notable combat. And at first, like I was a little weary about it going in because I was like, okay, then like what's like the real premise of this game? And then after an hour or so, I was pretty hooked with the exploration. And you know, outside of the, you know, the four kind of main items that you get as well as the firecrackers, there are so many other items that you end up finding that are like super useful and like kind of like turn the game on its head. And this is stuff that, you know, you could get before you rolled credits, and some of the items I got before I rolled credits, and those were very useful in finishing the game. And like it's one of those games where you think about okay, if I were to speed run this game, I would want to get the bubble wand first because you can kind of there's like a little trick that you can do where you can endlessly jump on subsequent bubbles if you know jump and press the bubble button at the same time. It's like, okay, I figured that out. Now I can, you know,
I didn't even think about that. That's cool.
Yeah, like, and that was like something I just kind of discovered just from messing around with it. And like that's what I've really liked about this game is like I haven't really looked up anything so far, like aside from just getting really stuck in a couple of areas, but
Yeah.
like all of it has kind of been like natural exploration.
Yeah, there's no tutorial in this game at all. It's just is there a fast travel at some point in this game?
Yeah, but it's kind of an unconventional fast travel.
So it's not between like the telephones or anything like that?
No, it's not between the telephones, but if you see like any like monster heads on the wall or sorry, animal heads on the wall, just kind of make note of those because then once you get a certain item, you'll be able to open those up.
Okay. Are you able to alter the map at all? Like, are you able to pinpoint anything on the map?
Yes.
Okay, you unlock
that is an item that you unlock.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, because there were certain spots where I'm like, okay, clearly I'm not ready to come. Like I'm, you know, on the screen. There's something here that I think I can do later on. So I was wondering if there's like a, so if you once you roll the credits, do you start the game over or do you start where you left off?
You start exactly where you left off, and to go through, I think the game's like broken up into 3 like quote unquote layers. With the first layer being beating the game, the second one revolving around the eggs that you collect. I'm sure you've found some.
Yeah, I've found a few.
And then the third one's like an even deeper level of secrets that you have to find. And I've come across them, but I can't do anything with them yet. So it's all very interconnected. Like you have to beat the game. I think you have to beat the game to be able to like continue with some stuff.
Yeah.
So it doesn't like you don't restart or anything. But yeah, I would collect some more eggs and go. Okay. Have you been like to the egg area?
I know there's like some doors that can unlock once you get certain or a certain amount of eggs, I believe.
But you haven't unlocked them yet.
I mean, I've definitely been to that area, but I haven't unlocked anything in that area yet.
Okay, I think the game like plays a specific sound when you collect an egg and you've collected enough to unlock a door.
Interesting, man. There's like so much deepness to this game.
It'll like let you know, like, hey, that's like cool. You should go back and you know, open one of those doors because the first item you get is very that's good. Yeah, it's pretty useful.
So what outside of the firecracker? Because I think that's the first one like you have to get or like it kind of guides you. What was your next weapon or item that you got?
The next one I got was the yo-yo.
The yo-yo. Okay. Yeah, see, I haven't found that one yet, but I got the bubble wand after that, after the firecracker. So that's.
Have you done the disc yet?
I've gotten the disc. Yeah.
You went through that area with the ghost dog thing.
Yeah, where it, like chases you until you are.
That was hard. That took me a couple of tries.
So. Well, how did you do that? Because Well, maybe I haven't. So if the disc is just there and you can take it, and then the ghost dog just chases you. But I ended up finding like a fake disc and swapped it out, and then the dog didn't chase me.
Oh, I guess you could have done that before. Oh,
so that's what I did.
I'm so stupid. I picked it up. I went through that entire area.
Yeah.
With the dog chasing me, and then at the very end, I picked up the mock disc.
Oh.
But I didn't even need to.
Yeah, I grabbed the disc and then just came back down and swapped it out.
I take that back. I did need the disc because I didn't have the bubble wand, so I couldn't use it to. No, actually, I could have.
That's what I like about this game. It's like it's very like open in terms of like doing kind of how you want to play and where you want to go.
Yeah, and then there's like obvious stuff that you definitely need an item for, like holding down one of the buttons to lift, a block or something. But
and I don't think we mentioned. I definitely mentioned it last week, but it's definitely like a Metroidvania-esque type of game where you need items to progress in certain areas of the game. But yet, like you said, there's no combat or anything like that. It's more definitely way more puzzle based than
way more puzzle based
than a typical Metroidvania. So. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I'm already pretty deep on the PlayStation, but so I don't know if I'm gonna get the Switch version. But if I have it, if I have not finished it, or if I don't play, I definitely plan on playing it more. But it may be a Florida game for me. It might be a good. Although I'm gonna take like Mario RPG with me, Wonder. Try to finish those up.
Are you picking up?
Yeah, I think I am. I really want to play it.
Thousand Year Door. Okay.
Yeah, and it's Memorial Day Monday, so like, I'm gonna be diving in.
Yeah, I still need to finish Stellar Blade. Like I played more of that yesterday.
Yeah, I'm pretty deep. Like I guess we'll jump into Stellar Blade, but I've got past the sewer part. And beat that boss, and then I am now at like the second like big wasteland area where the communication tower is like cut off, and you have to find the four.
I think I'm in the same spot.
The four like robot workers, or whatever. So I'm in that area. I just been like, I don't know why it's taking me so long to beat it. Because I really like the game. I think it's just because I've been so busy these last few weekends. I've just been really like again, like the music is so nice. Like
it's great, man.
Like it feels really like I've been doing every side quest that I find, and kind of clearing the map as I go before I go into like the main story part. It's just a vibe, dude. Like I know I say it every week, but it's such a chill game. Where
it's super chill. Like I did the 4 pieces of the tower. Yeah. And I'm like at a point where I can continue to progress. I'm like, I kind of want to just explore this area more.
Yeah.
And just vibe out. And then I came across like an optional boss, and that was really cool. So I don't know, this game, like I feel like it rewards exploration really well. Like it kind of seems very like natural, whereas other games like they can seem a little bit checklisty, like kind of like Rebirth can. I still need to go back and finish that game too, but there's been too many bigger games, and that's why I was so excited about Animal Well, and that's why I'm really looking forward to Hellblade 2.
Tomorrow, dude.
What? Yeah, tomorrow. I'm pumped, man. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah,
but
it looks really good. Looks really good.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the reviews look like because they're dropping in the middle of the night.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so I mean. It's not always a bad sign.
Yeah, I think it'll review. I think it's going to review pretty well.
Right.
I've got no concerns that it's not going to be a great game. And it's like short, like it's like 8 hours or less, which is perfect. Like I'm totally good with that.
And by the end of the first game, I was like, okay, I don't know if I would want this to be drawn out any longer because it's such an intense game, right?
Very much so.
I'm kind of glad that Hellblade 2 didn't, take the route of like, oh, and now you're in the open world area.
Open zone area now?
Yeah, the open zone. Even though we were just talking about Stellar Blade and we like that part of it, but Stellar Blade is really, really great. I'm rocking the Kill Bill outfit.
Ooh, yeah.
Pretty sweet, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
I
yellow
was
jump.
I was telling you at the party on Saturday, but I got this one costume where it was like it's like a I don't know, like a I'm trying to describe the
A crop top?
no, it's a one piece, but like
Oh, is it the rabbit?
the rabbit one, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like very like super wedgy on the butt. Like I rocked it for like an hour or two, and I was like,
Am I a simp?
Am I a simp? Like, and I had to change it. I was like, I can't. I was
No,
like,
I just like it. It's a cool
I just like it. I like it. So glad they didn't censor this. But yeah, I ended up,
that's one of the ones that were like, oh, this was censored when you look at the 1.0 version versus 1.1.
There's
like,
there's a little bit more butt cheek I could see. This is bullshit. But no, I ended up changing after a while. And yeah, there's some cool. I mean, there's some cool suits. Like it's one of those games where like the costumes don't do anything. Like there's no power ups for getting them, but like they're just some are like really cool.
Like Liza P.
Yeah,
like that one had some really dope outfits.
Oh, Liza P. I wonder when that deal. Ooh, maybe they would announce it at the Summer Games Fest. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Dude, next month is gonna be. I can't wait, dude.
With Summer Games Fest, Xbox, confirmed Nintendo Direct.
Yes, I can't.
Probably a PlayStation showcase
this week, dude. Wednesday.
No, dude, you got. That was last year. Wait,
was it? I thought it was this year.
Yeah, bro.
I'm pretty sure. PlayStation
Showcase May 24th. I guarantee you it's 2023.
I thought I confirmed it that it was 2024. Maybe I got.
I saw the same. I think I saw the same tweet.
Oh man. Wow, damn.
And May 24th. That's a
Wednesday.
I guess that's a
Thursday.
Oh, is it a Thursday? Or is it a Friday?
Oh, I'm about to change the name of the title. At PlayStation Showcase.
Oh, yeah, PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah.
Bro, this is fake news.
Dude, I got man. Man.
Oh, yeah, 24th is a Friday, too. So that's, I mean...
Is it a Friday? Oh, yeah. It is a Friday. I could have swore, because I saw the 2023 tweet, or the blog, and then I pulled it back up, and I thought I saw... Man, I really did get got. They got
had it in the headlines and everything.
Man. I feel so embarrassed.
So embarrassed, bro.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like if it takes long to find, it's probably not happening this week.
It's not happening. Well, oh well. So yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe they'll do something. I mean, they haven't been part of.
May's almost over.
Yeah, I mean, May's almost over. Speaking of Summer Games Fest, I know they announced most of the partners that are there.
Right. But I know Nintendo was not on that list.
Yeah,
which
they are not.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they usually aren't. But I like the summer. When is it? It's when is the actual kickoff? Like Jeff Keighley's.
I thought it was it June 8th? No, it's June 7th.
June 7th.
Yeah.
And it's at 5 Eastern, so you want to stream that? How long is that thing?
Yeah.
Like 3 hours?
Oh, it's Friday, June 7th.
Yeah, it's Friday, yeah.
I think I'll be available.
Okay. We'll figure it out. If not, it's not a huge deal. Yeah. But then the Xbox showcase, I think it's 1 Eastern time on that Sunday.
I'm down to stream that one.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for that one, just to see if Xbox can bring itself back yet again.
They can show up. They can do something. Hopefully they get some good momentum with Hellblade.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't close that studio down 2 days after release.
Yeah, I saw a lot of tweets like Hellblade comes out the 21st and they closed the 22nd.
And then the tweet that Don Matthews, the studio head for Ninja Theory. He like put out like a
the
statement.
big, yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel like this is a eulogy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I don't think it is, but
no, and and again, like
I
I think
excited about the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with Ninja Theory, again, we talked about it before, but it might have been on last week when I was by myself, but I just mentioned that they do a lot of like obviously with like audio design. I think they're like the kind of the front runners of like Xbox Studios, so where they're kind of like testing the waters with that technology. So I think they probably use their the audio design. They'll probably carry that on over into other games and stuff like that. So I think they're a valuable asset, even if Hellblade doesn't sell a crazy amount of copies or increase Game Pass subs. I think they're, I mean, they're all valuable, of course, but I think they are pretty valuable with Xbox.
Yeah, I think so.
Any more thoughts on Stellar Blade?
No, I'm hoping to finish it up within the next week. I don't think there's like too much. Well, I don't know. I'm probably at the halfway point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's. I mean, because when I was listening to Giant Bomb, they were talking about like they had like been doing the side missions and stuff, and they beat it in like 11 hours or something like that. So,
okay, so it's relatively
short campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have it wrapped up in the next week or so. I mean, obviously Hellblade is gonna kind of take over for that, and then we got freaking Mario on Thursday. So, Nick, tell me about, before we finish off. I guess we'll finish off with Elden Ring, but tell me about Starfield. You played the update.
Yeah, I checked it out yesterday for like 2 or 3 hours. Big changes are 60 frames and then some performance options.
Oh, it's 60 frames? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, 60 frames.
Nice.
Runs pretty well. The New Atlantis still is a little choppy, even at 60. But on the planets that I visited, like just like the random planets, it ran really well. There's a 40 frames option that has variable refresh rate, higher fidelity, that kind of stuff.
So game of the generation now, right?
Right. Yeah, game of the generation. And then there is, and this is really exciting, an option to just increase your carrying capacity. I went from a capacity of like 310 to 1200.
Jeez.
So it was pretty substantial. The only downside to that is, so there's a lot of options for combat, for environmental damage, like this kind of stuff, like what your healing items do, your storage capacity, being able to access your ship storage. If you change those, it changes your XP that you gain. So if you increase your storage capacity, it reduces your XP by like 2 to 4%.
And you already aren't leveling up a ton in that game too.
Yeah. So it's pretty slow. But what I did was I cranked up the difficulty to the highest it could be, and that was like a plus 8% XP boost.
Oh, nice.
And I'm at like a high enough level, and I have good enough weapons where I can still like almost steamroll random enemies that I come across. And then there were like other random options that I like turned up, and I was getting like a plus 25% XP boost, and I ended up like gaining a level within that time frame. So it was like notably faster with those.
Did you ever finish New Game Plus?
Yeah, I think I finished New Game Plus too, or at least I went through the thing twice.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I think I did it like maybe 3 or 4 times. And you get a pretty substantial XP boost going through that little mini campaign, I guess. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure. I've got it downloaded. I definitely want to check it out. I don't think like none of the like the 30 frames that never bothered me. Obviously the over encumbrance like was a huge issue of mine. I just hate that. I hate that in any game, especially this game where you can literally pick up every object in the world.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like I don't know, it just kind of negatively like it oh damn, what's the word?
Pushback? I don't know.
No. anyways, it I don't know. It like
It's bad.
huh?
It's bad.
It's bad. Um, but yeah, I hated that. Like I hated like getting off my ship, and then once you, because I realized that when you were like a certain amount of meters away from your ship, like within like a certain amount, you could just put your stuff on the ship. But then when you were in like a space station or something like that, um, yeah, you have to kind of like slowly walk if you want to keep all your stuff, and you can't fast travel, which is a pain in the ass. Like I don't know, just I hate over encumbrance in video games. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out. But like also like the game, just playing it, I didn't like love. Obviously the space stuff like was just horrible. Like in my opinion, I just didn't have any fun doing the dog fighting. Maybe like I really do. Hopefully they get that game one day where like the dog fighting is actually fun and you can actually, I don't know, circle around a planet. Like I get they were going from somewhat of realism in the game, but I just, man, they kind of botched it on that aspect of the game in my opinion. But I am looking forward to whatever this expansion could be. I know it's announced, but we don't know anything about it, so I'm sure we'll see it at the Xbox showcase. So hopefully it looks pretty cool. I'll definitely jump back in during that expansion.
Yeah, and like I didn't do any of the dogfighting when I jumped back in, but the combat with higher difficulty was pretty fun. Yeah. Like it made you kind of think about what you were doing, which is a lot more than what can be said about, playing most of that game.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that like, the dogfighting itself was actually okay. Like it wasn't horrible. That part I did enjoy. Like the end of like the what was
the Crimson Fleet?
The Crimson Fleet. That was a pretty cool like dogfighting experience. But I just really wanted like that space exploration. Like I wanted to be able to spacewalk on my ship, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they kind of
cool, but
they went like too hard into the realism of humanity's first years in space when they should have, like, if they were going for for realism, they should have jumped ahead like hundreds of years and at least had like different alien races, had just kind of more to do in space, because the worst part of that game is all of the loading screens and all of that kind of stuff, and like everything just feels so siloed, and it doesn't feel like you're actually like going in and landing on a planet or explore or like doing any meaningful exploration. So I don't know if that can be fixed in a DLC. And like like a lot of people are giving this Cyberpunk comparison of like, okay, like this,
this is not the same. Like
no, like
the thing with Starfield is like, yeah, people were bitching about it being 30 frames per second, blah blah blah. But like for the overall experience, like this was probably the smoothest launch that Bethesda has had in like one of their main like AAA games. Like there was definitely some bugs in the game, but like for the most part, it was a pretty solid running game. Cyberpunk was not. It was absolutely completely broken. It was like borderline, just almost unplayable. And this obviously and obviously they fixed it over the years, and then the big expansion that came out was like a big
the 2.0.
Yeah, that's a big 2.0 kind of thing. Yeah, this is definitely not on that level, but it's getting there. I mean,
but I feel like
there, I think hopefully I don't know.
Not necessarily more in the performance, but with Cyberpunk, and granted, I played 10 hours and I didn't really get into it, and I was on Series X, so I didn't have that many issues.
Yeah,
but a lot of people say like, oh, that was a really great game that had a bad launch. Starfield is a good game. I just don't know if anything they do to it to any quality of life improvements is going to fix people's experience with the game at the base level. And that mainly comes down to the exploration and all the loading screens. Like I don't know if Shattered Space will fix that. Maybe it'll give maybe it'll have a cool story and like provide land vehicles, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're still going to be pressing that button to land on a planet. It's going to play a cutscene, and it's all going to be the same.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest
letdown.
The biggest letdown is not being able to fly directly into the planet.
Yeah, No Man's Sky, like that, they did that so well. Like that was so cool in that game. And like, the thing is, like, maybe jumping over to Elden Ring that same day, I was like, okay, this game sacrificed realism for fun. Like with the double jump with your horse.
It's so fun, dude. It's
or like
best horse
the
in the video
responsiveness
game,
of your
in my
character.
opinion.
Yeah.
It's easily the best.
It's like automatic how you get on your horse, and then like just the responsiveness of your character, or like it doesn't feel realistic, whatever, but you feel like you have control, and that makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Man, Elden Ring's still
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Obviously, I think we've been talking about jumping back into Elden Ring for a couple months now. I mean, since the DLC got that first trailer, which hopefully we see another trailer
pretty soon.
Soon. I mean, it comes out in 1 month. But yeah, I was debating if I want to start a new character or start a new run, and ultimately I decided no, just because like that game is pretty long.
And you have a good character, right?
I have a good character. Like I got my double Bloodhound Fang swords, which are absolutely goated. I did jump back in when I, because I wasn't really sure where I was at, so I jumped back in and I'd seen that I had beaten the game again. So I was like, okay, well the DLC I know I got to defeat Mog, and I know I got to defeat Melania, and I haven't fought Melania since I beat her the first time. Like I don't think I've fought her again since. Got back to that area. And I think I beat her on my second try. Granted, you know, I used the mimic, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah. Hey, use it in the DLC too. I mean, there's no shame.
I really hope that they Metroid you in the DLC. I don't know if they will, but
if you, I don't think they will, because if you have to get to a certain point in the base game to get to the DLC, then they're running the assumption that you're like level 100 plus,
ready to go.
That would be cool though. Like, it'd be cool to have like a siloed expansion.
Yeah, just because like I want to be forced almost, and obviously like I can choose not to use the weapons and stuff that I have, but I kind of want to be forced to like use new things.
I don't know. I'm excited to use those new weapons though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I can't wait to try them out.
And there's a new class, like isn't there like a new class too, like the fist class.
Oh
like
yeah.
Whatever.
I need to make sure I have enough larval tiers to reclass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. I need to jump back in and check. Although I haven't respect a ton. Like I respect to like I did like a mage run at one point. So I think I've only respected maybe twice, maybe 2 or 3 times. But yeah, it's Elden Ring. It's still fun. Like there's definitely some bullshitty moments that when I was getting through those areas.
I mean, specifically
the Haligtree, pretty damn annoying. But that's Souls-like for you.
But it's like a fun annoying, right? It's like
yeah. I mean, there's so many damn grace points that it's like almost 0 stakes. You know, to a certain degree. I mean, you could definitely lose a lot of runes if you're not careful, but I mean, they're so close together. It's not a huge deal. And at this point, like I'm not really worried about you know, the runes or whatever. But yeah, beat her. Went and fought Mog, beat him again. Game's cool, man. It's just such, dude. I'm so excited for the DLC. This is like the most hyped I've ever been for a piece of DLC, probably since Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Like for the wonder was it the Wandering Isle? Something like that.
The Shimmering
Isle and like Knights of the Nine DLC. Like, yeah, I don't think I've been this hyped since that game, which is kind of insane to think about. But
yeah,
so excited,
man. It's yeah. I jumped back in, and I'd beaten the game again, but hadn't unlocked the consecrated snowfield. Yeah, so I had to go get the 2 medallions.
Yeah, because I had played a couple of weeks ago and did the talisman thing, and I gotten through the fog of the consecrated snowfield, and then I stopped right at that little town. So I was right there, like pretty much ready to go.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had to fight like that general again.
Oh yeah, he's pretty tough. Like that first run, he was definitely tough because he has the 2
guys with him. Yeah. So yeah, I had to fight him, and then Mog was relatively easy with the bleed build that I had. So it was
super easy. Yeah,
it's the game just plays so well. Like even jumping back in after a year plus, like, sure, it took a couple of minutes to get used to the combat again.
Yeah, I
But
definitely
it played really well.
I had spawned at Malekith, where you fight him, his grace point, and there's like a tree sentinel, not a tree sentinel, but like
like the golden.
Yeah, I probably died about 20 times on him, just trying to get reacclimated with the controls and stuff.
Right.
Because I was like, man, how do I use the Bloodhound finesse? I couldn't remember how to use it, so I ended up having to Google it and found out.
What is it? LT?
You have to hold LT and then you have to hit RT, I believe, because he'll do like the jump spin move and dash back, and then you have to hold RT for him to like do like the warp. So I relearned the controls and stuff like that. And once I relearned all that stuff, I was pretty good. But I was watching. I got kind of hyped for it. I don't know if you've ever like watched like Kai Cenat stream at all.
Yeah, I was watching.
He doesn't typically stream video games. Like he did like the Red Dead stream, which I didn't. I just kind of caught the clips on like TikTok and stuff. And I hadn't really seen him before, outside of just like certain clips and stuff. But dude, super funny. Like just watching. I watched him beat Melania and some other bosses, and then obviously I watched him finish the game when he was fighting the Elden Beast or whatever. But yeah, it got me super hyped for it, and he's like all in. Yeah. Like he was playing off stream too. Like yeah, it was a really cool, really cool stream.
50-hour stream.
Like I think it was like I think he finished at like 167 or something, like over 1,700 deaths, which is kind of insane, but
yeah, it's cool. Like someone so big is like getting hyped for Elden Ring too.
Well, and I'm sure it brought so many more players into. Man, Elden Ring is just one of those games that just transcends kind of like normal video game go players. Like it's very like, I don't even want to say zeitgeisty, because like I feel like everybody knows about this game at this point.
Right. Yeah, like, oh my gosh.
Just one of those games, man. It's just who would have thought like 15 years ago that FromSoft would be like one of the biggest developers in the world.
Have like one of the most successful game launches and one of the highest rated games of all time.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, and it's so weird because you would not expect it. It's like it's a hard game, but
it's doable.
Like it's a really rewarding challenge.
Yeah.
And you can do it in your own way, and it's not just like banging your head against a wall. It's not it's not even like a game like Bloodborne or Dark Souls in that way where you're somewhat limited in what you can do.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much freedom. It's so good, man.
Yeah. If you're listening and you're interested in Elden Ring, dive in and just don't listen to people that try to tell you how to play right, because there's no right way to play. Like
yeah, like
the right bit there, you can't use any armor, you can't do any summonings, you can't use the rivers of blood, you can't use this. You have to use the Dolus dagger in the game.
Yeah, Dolus dagger.
You have to play blindfolded. Ridiculous.
Cut your arms off and.
Yeah.
it's so yeah. I mean, if you want advice, I would look up. Okay, what's the best like dexterity build or strength build? Like
yeah,
I would look that stuff up, but don't listen to anyone telling you how to play the game.
No.
Play it how you want. It's hard enough,
Yeah.
Nothing
don't
makes
get me wrong.
Easy.
It's a good community, but like there are some, like
I mean that's the same with every
with
every Souls game though. It's like there's always going to be those gatekeepers of like, oh yeah, you have to play. You have to do a bare fist level 1 run.
Bare fist. Can't run. You have to. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous stuff. But yeah, I rewatched the Shadow of the Erdtree trailer earlier. I was just like, man, I just can't wait.
You need to watch some Vati Vidya on YouTube.
What is that?
VAATI VIDYA. He does like a bunch of Elden Ring lore stuff. That's
I've
really
been watching a lot of lore ever since I was watching Kai stream. Like it's been like all over my For You page. So yeah, I've gotten like the kind of the breakdown of like who Melania really is, and like how what's the character, what's her brother's name?
Michaela.
Yeah, Michaela, and he was trying to cure her blood rot, and then but he was also really small, and he was trying to like, that's why he's in the cocoon, because he wants to like become bigger. And then Mog stole him and then infused his blood, and like that's what the creature, yeah, it's
and now he's in like now he left for the Shadow Realm or Shadowlands, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's such a crazy story with.
It's an insane amount of lore that's like so confusing, but it's really cool. Like if it's something you want to dive into, it's absolutely there.
Yeah,
give me like an Elden Ring like anime or something like that would be super hype.
That'd be sick, man. That'd be so cool.
Let's dive into some news, Nick.
Let's do it.
This is our last one here, but I kind of want to talk about it. Have you watched the Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer?
Yeah, I've watched it. No gameplay, so I'm not super excited for it.
It's really weird when companies announce a game, show no gameplay, and then they're like, "Here's our $130 edition." Yeah. It's like who is pre-ordering this stuff?
Stupid. It's like, okay, I know it's gonna look decent.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem, because like I know we'll get a gameplay at like Summer Games Fest. Like I'm okay with waiting, but like, yeah, who is pre-ordering this stuff immediately? I mean, it looks cool. We're finally getting like the feudal Japan era that people have been playing, asking for since like Assassin's Creed 2. You know, once we knew that they were going to be jumping around in terms of like the eras of history. So yeah, it looks cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, it looks cool. It sounds like two play styles, like samurai and ninja.
Samurai and shinobi.
Oh, shinobi.
Yeah, so okay. there's the female protagonist. So yeah, I guess I don't know if you can. We don't really have anything.
Probably. Well, I don't know if you can swap actually.
I'm assuming. I don't know if we can swap on the fly. Like Spider-Man or whatever. Maybe we'll swap like at some point during like the story. Like it'll swap. It'll like force swap us. Have no idea. We don't know anything about the gameplay or whatever. But it looks really cool.
Yeah, story looks pretty interesting. I mean, I haven't played. Well, there haven't been many Assassin's Creed games since Valhalla, but
just Mirage is the only one.
Yeah, just Mirage. Okay, that's a good gap, and like I'm kind of excited for what this game is. I might play it.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Not excited about the controversy that came along with it. Like I just don't get it, dude.
There's got to be a controversy with every game.
I don't get it, man. It's so exhausting. Like it's got to be exhausting to like pick the stuff apart and just be like, oh, why is there a black samurai in this game? It's like they literally like, okay, the entire Assassin's Creed franchise it's obviously like built in fiction, but it uses like, real world, like
uses a basis, yeah,
history. I mean, dude, there's freaking magic in these games, like.
But this was an actual guy. Like this guy actually existed.
Yeah, it's an actual character. In the history books, you can look him up. So like, if it was just a random black dude that they were throwing into this game, sure, like, all right, maybe that's a little weird, right? Okay. Maybe it's a little weird. Also, who actually gives a damn at the end of the day?
Yeah, who cares, man?
But it's an actual like historical figure, so like it makes sense in like the overall. I don't know, man. There's magic in this game. Like you fight the Pope, like in these games, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's not
like you can't go to Assassin's Creed for historical accuracy. I mean, they're going into the whatever it's called and going back in time, and
it's ridiculous.
Being these people, yeah. It's that aside, I'm pretty excited for it.
I mean, the trailer look badass. Like they do a really good job with their cinematic trailers.
Yeah.
And then of course, like there's the whole like online install thing where you have to be online to install the game.
It's every game.
That's what I was arguing with this person on Twitter about last week. I was just like, you realize that you don't actually own because they were like, oh well, physical, I own my games. Like, yeah, you own the disc.
You own 500 megabytes of it. Maybe.
Yeah, you own the disc and you own the plastic that it comes in, but like you're really just owning you're licensing it out. Like no company is ever going to come to your house and take this game away from you, but I mean, technically you don't own it, so it is. I mean, I get it. Like, I totally get it, and I understand that it's annoying to have to be online to install. But when are you not online? Like, what are you going to purposely disconnect from your Wi-Fi to install the game. Like, no, you're not going to do that. It's not. To me, it's not a big deal, and whatever.
Yeah, if you want that stuff, get a Switch and play all of Nintendo's first-party games.
Exactly. But yeah, I think it looks really cool. Excited to see more. Yeah, looks cool. Nick, you want to read the Nintendo one about the acquisition?
Yeah, this is like kind of breaking news announced a little bit earlier, but Nintendo is acquiring Shiver Entertainment. They've been around since 2012, and they do like mainly port work. So they did like the ports for Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat 1 to the Switch. I think they did 11 as well.
Great ports, but yeah.
Well, no, I think the Hogwarts one was like as good as you could get it.
Yeah, that is
Switch,
true.
Like that's a current gen game, so it's
hard to judge because it's a Switch and you're trying to like bring over these like really big, graphic like high fidelity games, and like the Switch just can't do it. So maybe if they have more power to work with, they'll put up
more power, more time,
put some really great ports out.
So I'm sure they said it in their press release that they acquired them specifically for the next Nintendo console for the Switch too, for porting over third-party games. And Shiver is they're still gonna work multi-platform, so it's not like they're exclusively working for Nintendo. So it's kind of a similar situation to Bungie, where they're still doing their thing, but I'm sure they're getting a lot more resources and development time from Nintendo, which that'll lead to really good Switch 2 ports of current gen games, which is like, hey, that's all for the better.
Are they exclusively doing like third party ports? Are they gonna do like any sort of there's that rumored like Zelda Breath of the Wild port that's coming for the Switch too. Is there? Do you think there's potentially that they'll be working on some first party stuff, or is it just third party?
From what I read, it sounded like it was third party, like bringing multi-platform games to the Switch, and still working on bringing multi-platform games elsewhere.
Yeah,
but you never know. They could work on those Zelda ports, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Star Fox.
I got a feeling that's going to be announced next month
for the Switch.
Yeah, well,
it would be cool to have all of those games on the Switch.
I mean, I don't see why. I mean, if it ran on the Wii U, I don't see why it couldn't run on the Switch. Hello, Pranav. I'm probably butchered that, but welcome.
Well, but would you want it ported to the Switch, or would you want it like to have more power and fidelity on the next system?
I mean, I never played that game, so like I don't really have like much of an opinion about that. But obviously, if I'm going to choose more power, I could totally wait for it to be on the Switch too and be its best. But
yeah, but you're right. It could be one of the swan song games for the Switch.
Yeah,
one of the mini ports and remasters we've had this year.
I am weirdly like really excited about this Direct, just to see what they've got coming up.
Yeah,
mainly because I'm hoping for the Zelda stuff. Like, obviously, that's like number one thing I probably want at this point. Other than
number one over Metroid 4,
I was gonna say other than Metroid Prime 4. Okay. I think Metroid Prime 4 is absolutely going to be their big holiday title. But I mean, we've just been waiting forever for these Zelda games. So.
Can I say something?
Go for it.
I can't say I'm like super excited for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. I'm just ready for people to stop speculating about them.
I mean, as far as like playing them, I'm not dying to play them or replay them. I just want them, and I want it to like round out the collection.
I think it'd be very funny if they lived and died on the Wii U. It's like those were two of the only games that just stayed on the Wii U.
I mean,
as a final, just a final like, hey, you missed out, man.
Yeah,
you missed out. You didn't get the Wii U, so you didn't play these games.
Yeah,
and they're not going to do that. But
yeah, I don't see. I mean, it doesn't make sense for them to let them die on the Wii U like that. But that would be funny. And
I don't want it to happen. I just think it would be kind of funny if it did.
And again, like, I'm not like desperately wanting to replay these games, but I just kind of just want them to be on my shelf.
Yeah.
If
I really want them to do a dual pack. I know they won't.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I just think I'd rather them remake the Oracle games and do that third game.
Yeah,
that would be so cool.
I would love that, like a proper remake of those two games. That would be really cool. And you could definitely do those as like a dual pack, I think.
Yeah. I think they would. I don't know if they would go the whole Fire Emblem Conquest Birthright Revelations.
I don't know if people would like that. Like,
No,
I
don't think they liked.
$60 Skyward Sword, sure. That's the first time it's been re-released since it came out. Link's Awakening, $60. It's been a long time since that came out, so sure. But to ask, $60 a pop for Oracle of Ages and Seasons, I don't know if that would fly with a lot of people.
I don't know. Especially, those games were like $30 when they came out.
Yeah, same with Link's Awakening, but also it's like they weren't. It was a single game, right? Like, both of those are single experiences. You don't have to have the other one, but they obviously have an overall like connected story if you play both of them and get like that little code at the end. But right. I think that would make more sense for a dual pack. But we'll see. Next up is Fallout is coming to Fortnite for the next season. That's dropping on, I believe, Thursday. They haven't shown. I know they dropped like a little teaser trailer earlier today or yesterday, but we don't know like what exactly that entails. So I'm assuming Fallout's going to be a pretty big part of this season.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine
some power armor. I'm sure that's going to be like a pickup in the middle of the map or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the power. I mean, they've had I think they've had mechs in the past in that game. I mean, I never played it when they had it, but yeah, I'm sure a power armor will be some sort of pickup you could do. I'm pretty excited. Like I'm kind of slowing down a little bit. With me and Kellen are still playing a lot, but kind of slowing down just because like I'm done with the battle pass. Like I'm over. I mean, both Kellen and I are done with the battle pass, so we've kind of gotten everything we can get out of it. So I'm just ready for that kind of the next season and checking out I'm still checking every night, at the skins,
the refresh.
Yeah, still refreshing, checking every night or during the day or whatever. But yeah, pretty excited. You should jump in with us and play.
I think I'll jump in with Fallout.
Yeah, I think that's a good start.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty excited for that. I got bamboozled. I did have the PlayStation Showcase mentioned here coming this week, but according to the notes, I got, which I absolutely did.
Hey, maybe you're kind of willing it into existence. Maybe there's going to be an announcement tomorrow.
Maybe. I mean, they typically do it a week in advance, which is why I thought that this was a legitimate thing. But whatever. And then the last story, it was leaked or.
Yeah, I saw this
on Twitter that they're doing a Lego Horizon Adventures game, which is extremely random. But they also did do the tall neck like Lego set, so it's not like
so they've had a relationship.
So they had the relationship, but it's described as like a futurist like Horizon Forbidden West, but with Legos.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, initially I was like kind of negative about it because I was just like, who's asking for this? Like who? And then I was like Horizon in general as like a game. I was like, who? Like, is it really that highly regarded? Like, I know it's had both those games had like the infamous release date, corresponding with Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild. But then like I looked at the numbers and like across the whole series, it sold 34 million. So obviously people and granted like. Forbidden West was a pack-in game for quite a while, and that was like the only way of getting the game. But that aside, it's like very popular franchise, highly reviewed games too. Yeah, this could be interesting. I think it could be cool.
Yeah, I think it could be cool. Like I think they could kind of do a lot of interesting stuff with all of the weapons and powers and traps and. Have really cool like Lego dinosaurs that kind of like fall apart and stuff when you damage. Yeah, The more I think about it, the more it makes sense.
I have a feeling though, because it's Lego, this might be a third part, like a
a multi-platform
game.
See, I don't know. Has there ever been an exclusive Lego game?
Probably. I mean, I'm assuming.
But I can't think of any
maybe something on the Switch. Maybe I don't know.
Games. Oh yeah, Lego City Undercover was exclusive to the Wii U.
Yeah, but I feel like if PlayStation has, I think in the next few years, like I really feel like, I mean, I don't see their stuff ever coming to Switch or Xbox, but I do think that they're going to have day and date releases with the PC, in the future. But I think this could be like a cool kind of testing ground, testing the waters for having some of their games go cross-platform. I think that could be, and it's Lego Horizon, like
it's not like you're protecting anything.
Yeah, I mean,
sacred.
It's not like it's regular Horizon coming across. Like it's just Lego Horizon, and I think that could be kind of a cool, maybe potential gateway for people that have never played Horizon and like, oh, this is a really cool franchise. Oh, it's based off of a regular game. Like, oh, it's on the play. Oh, cool. And then
like go buy PS5.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my theory, but it probably won't happen. It'll probably be an exclusive game, but
yeah,
I think it could be an interesting approach. But
would there be any other games that you want like a Lego version of?
And that's when I was like, okay, I was initially negative, but then I was like, well, I mean, if I had a favorite franchise that went Lego, like that would be pretty cool. I mean, nothing like at the top, like maybe like Halo. I think could be kind of fun. Like Lego. I mean, they already have like the Mega Block Halo stuff. I know it's not Lego, but they already have like that kind of form, so we've seen those.
That would be cool though.
Or like how hilarious would be like Gears of War Lego, you get the chainsaw and they just like bust out into like the little block pieces. Like that could be really funny.
You could have like a Lego
any other franchise you can think of? That would be fun.
I don't know. I mean, I think any Mario games could be fun in Lego. It would never happen, but maybe like a Luigi's Mansion Lego version could be pretty cool. I don't know. God of War would be very funny.
Yeah,
to have a Lego version of.
Yeah, kind of similar to Gears, just very gory.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Ooh, that could be fun. That could be really funny.
Yeah.
Give us that, man. That could be cool. Apparently they've got like that Lego Zelda set coming out this year. I think like maybe in September. There was like the leaked photos of like the Deku tree. Like a Lego Zelda could be fun.
Oh, is that like one of the like more like sophisticated Lego ones?
Yeah, I think so.
Like 18 plus ones or whatever, where you're like kind of like the bonsai tree. Don't you have the bonsai tree?
I don't have.
Or do you have the Mandalorian helmet?
I've got the Mandalorian and the Captain Rex one. Well, I think this set's rumored to be like $300-$400. Like it's a very expensive.
Shit. Oh, so it's like the NES.
Kind of like that, yeah. Or like they just released that Lord of the Rings Sauron Tower set that's like $400-$500, but it's like very intricate piece.
Thousands of pieces.
Thousands, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That could be interesting. Speaking of Luigi's Mansion, I was thinking about Amiibo earlier. I think it's very criminal that we've never gotten like a Luigi's Mansion amiibo.
The Poltergeist amiibo.
Yeah. And also Paper Mario. And a Paper Mario amiibo could be really cool looking.
That would be cool.
I know it's kind of random, but it's criminal.
Do you think we're like at the end of amiibo at this point? I guess the last ones were Xenoblade, last non-Smash amiibo was Xenoblade.
Yeah, I think we're probably. I mean, I think they'll still make some more, but we'll probably only ever see like a few a year, maybe at this point. And it's kind of been like on the slow end, anyways. Like we I mean, last year we got Xenoblade, Or no, we got Xenoblade this year. We got the Tears of the Kingdom ones this year.
We got Sora this year.
Sora this year. So I guess we've had 4. Sephiroth. I mean, so
there's been a decent amount.
I think we'll still get them. It'll just be like, I don't know,
like more major franchises. You think?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I can see like Metroid Prime 4 having amiibo.
I would love that. Yeah. I mean, I love collecting them. Like that's like one of my favorite things to collect. Right. So I hope they don't die. But
got a lot right here.
Yeah. So I really hope they don't die. But yeah, now that Smash is over, I don't think we'll get a ton.
Yeah, not a consistent cadence at least.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that is going to wrap up the show. We do have Hellblade coming out tomorrow. Very excited to play that, and I'm sure it's being a short game, I'm sure we'll probably get through that pretty quickly. So we'll talk about that next week. Is there anything else? Paper Mario's coming out this week. I'm excited to hear what your thoughts about it, because this is like
my first time playing.
Yeah, this is like the quintessential like Mario RPG style game. Like this is like the best.
Yeah,
the best of the best, in my opinion. And hopefully that we're getting this remake. Hopefully the next Paper Mario, like the new one, will be
more traditional
and not weird.
Like they were so scared of doing turn-based, like just doing a normal turn-based game for, what was it, 3 Paper Mario games?
More than that, right? They had Super Paper Mario on the Wii. They had
Color Splash, Sticker
Star, and what's the one that's
Origami
King. So we've had 4 that have just not been the same, like a traditional one.
Crazy.
So, yeah, very, very crazy. But excited to hear your thoughts about that. Yeah, I think it will. I've seen like crazy amount of ads like on YouTube and stuff. So I mean, Kellen even asked about it. He's like, I want that game, and I was like, it's like not a Mario game, right? It's like a turn-based, and I like showed him the video of it, and he's like, oh, I don't know. So
never mind.
So yeah, looking forward to hearing your thoughts on it, because I know you'll like that game a lot. And that's it, right? And nothing else. It's been a crazy couple of weeks with all the indie stuff and other games that come out.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else like super big until Elden Ring, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then Luigi's Mansion is it before Elden Ring? When does Luigi's Mansion? Which I'm probably gonna pass on, to be honest.
I think I am too. I've played the game before. Wasn't like my favorite game in the world, but I enjoyed it enough. Let me.
June 27th. So yeah, it's a week after Elden Ring.
Okay.
I don't know. I might. I don't know, because like Brittany and Kellen really love Luigi's Mansion, but it's not co-op, so it's like, you know what I mean? Really wish it was co-op.
Don't they have the multiplayer mode, or is that just one person per console?
Well, they got the local wireless, so I think it's one person per console, to be honest.
Okay.
Which is maybe, I don't know. It definitely doesn't have like co-op for the campaign, which is a bummer. But we'll see. I might change my mind. But we'll see. All right.
Last question before we
close
out. Are we seeing Silk Song next month?
Nick.
I had to ask. I had to put it out there.
I think we do. I think we see it. I think we get a release date. It's not going to be shadow dropped. I think it's going to have a proper release date.
October release date, something like that.
I definitely think we do see it. It's time for us to. I mean, we've seen like a decent amount of the gameplay. I mean, so
we know what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, we know what it's going to play like and stuff like that. But yeah, I think we see it. You know, I don't know if it's. I don't know what showcase is going to be at. I don't know if it's going to be at Xboxes. I don't know if it's going to be Summer Games Fest. I honestly think it could close out Summer Games Fest if it has a release date. I feel like that could be a solid game to close it out. But yeah, I'm very excited for next month. We got a lot of stuff to look forward to. It's been so dry with the news here recently. Like,
and it's been just a lot of bad news.
A lot of bad news. You're right. Yeah.
Lately. Yeah.
So I'm excited for some announcements and release dates and stuff for stuff we don't have release dates for. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hopefully everyone has a good week. Nick, when are we gonna do? When do you want to do the podcast? Memorial Day's on Monday. Just hold off till like Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah, maybe hold off until Tuesday. That'll give us
extra time to play stuff.
Yeah, finish up some games. Okay,
cool. Yeah, so we'll record the podcast next Tuesday. So I'll probably have the podcast up either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, something like that. So, but hopefully everyone has a good week and good long weekend if you're fortunate enough to get the day off and spend time with your family, friends, all that good stuff. So we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
We'll see you next week and bye bye.